Welcome to another Bitcoin price action update. Okay, so in my last video yesterday, I mentioned that we are looking for a C wave up to around 25,000. And at the moment, my view of the end of the B wave happened in this particular area down here where the E is. So I'll just highlight it here with a little circle right there so you can see it. So that's the point which I call critical support. And price action that goes beneath that will invalidate this idea. So this being a short-term trade, I thought it would be a good idea, as I mentioned previously, to see how you can use AriasWave at a granular level to understand the price action. If something occurs that isn't quite right, then obviously steps need to be taken to try and understand what the pattern is trying to tell us. So since then, we've seen overnight, overnight here in Australia, basically we've seen price action fall back down to almost the 0.78 area. More recently, in the last few hours, we've seen a little bit of a pump going on. So just using that as a guide at the moment, just to sort of confirm potentially wave 1 and 2 price action after the B wave correction has ended. So from here on out, I expect this to go higher and not lower. So that's why my stop is at this level, right? So, this all goes back to the idea that this is a D wave, right? And then you had a 5 wave move down. Now, this one here, the E wave looks like a 5 wave move. This here looks like a sharp correction. Okay, so why do I say it looks like a sharp correction? Well, because right in the middle where you should see the longest wave, you see this little knot of price action that basically got stumped on that white dotted line, which happens to be basically the top of. I'll show you. I'll show you what I mean. It happens to be the top of the previous 2017 high. Okay, so at the moment, I'm still going through a little bit of more analysis just to see whether or not this C wave has bottomed, which I really don't think it has at this point. So we're not really worried about the big picture here because this is mainly a futures trade, but I'm just trying to illustrate that potentially why we have that kind of price action happening right there like that. Otherwise, if that's not the case, then there's potentially something else going on for this D wave, and that would involve an A, B, C, D, and an E, and then just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave. Still looking like an E wave, a D wave in my opinion. It's always a bit difficult when you're looking at the small degree. It takes a certain amount of courage and the ability to identify the waves in order to get into these sort of moves, especially when you see this type of price action happen where the market kind of comes against you. If it keeps going down, obviously it stops you out, but if it bounces like it has recently, there's a bit more of a chance that you could be right. So therefore, taking a look at this here, you can see that there's a sharp move that occurred in the last few minutes. And because we have the strongest move right there, there's a good possibility that this will touch the highs, once again producing a very similar pattern. Because remember, these are fractals, right? So in my opinion, this is a wave E, right? If you want to sort of understand my view from the first wave, Then basically we had like an A. Excuse me for a second. Excuse me. Still getting over that cold. Jeez. A B. Sorry. An A, a B, a C, D, E. Sorry, that's not right. Sorry, we have an A and then a B, a C, a D, right? And that's when the E comes down the hardest there. Excuse me. I wish I'd just get over this cold already. Right. So where to from here? Well, we need to break the previous high. We can still use the old adage of higher highs and higher lows. And so far, we have not broken any of those. We continue to make higher lows throughout this process since this area down here around the 13th, 14th of July. So therefore, higher lows continues until we get our move. Now, those higher lows, they're not something that I use. It's just an observation. The main thing that's important here is the waves. Initially, I thought this would be a pretty simple cup and handle pattern, but obviously it went down. So an extra big handle. Now, obviously from here, it's just going to really depend on whether we hit that new high and continue higher. At the moment, we can see that there's a bit of a pump going on across a few coins. So I may touch on Matic in another video that I post later today. So hopefully you found this video interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.